Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on this channel. And in this tutorial, we'll be going over the basics of Python. Let's get started. So the first thing you need to have is a pycharm, obviously. Now, if you don't have this, you could either do one or two. One, you could just download the IDE that I have, pycharm, and I've linked another video on that and I'll link another video on how to set up your IDE, and I'll link a video on how to install it. Cause on the channel introduction video, went over how to install the IDEs that we're going to be using on this channel. So make sure you watch that if you really haven't. So yeah, but there's another option. You could just use JDoodle, an online IDE, but this won't work after a while because we're gonna go into some more advanced concepts like OOP and stuff. Not Java, sorry, Python. So yeah, it's better if you just have an external IDE. That's what I would recommend you to get. But you can use JDoodle as well. So it's totally up to you. Okay, let's see. Now I'm just gonna use the external IDE for the sake of this tutorial. And yeah, one sec, I don't know, I have this file. I'm just gonna delete it. Okay. So you can see we have a file called main.py. So this is the file name where all your Python scripts will be contained. So print blah blah blah. You can print whatever you want. And we'll get into print after I go over the file stuff that you need to know. It's really important that you know this. So now let's say I want to create a file, a Python file. And you'll just be like, oh, okay, let's just create a file. I'm just going to name this hello world. So, yeah, I created a Python file, but let's try to print something. And don't worry, I'll be going over print soon. Print hello world. And if we, as you can see, we can't really run this because this is not even a Python file. As you can see here, it says main.py, but it says hello world. It's not hello world.py. And also, let's say you know some other language like Java. I know Java. That's another language I know. So if I go to file and just say, let's see, hello world.java, because that's the Java file extension. You don't need to know this stuff because we're going over Python. And you can see it says .java files are supported in other JetBrains IDEs. Oh yeah, by the way, JetBrains is the hoster of this pycharm thing, and there's another IDE that I'll be using for Java. So yeah, try Ultimate IntelliJ IDEA. Try this. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and you can see it. It doesn't really work. It doesn't really work. This is just Java syntax. You don't need to know this, and I can't really run this. Yeah, because this is even though this is a Java file, this IDE does not really support Java files. If you have the pycharm professional version, which is obviously paid, then you'll be able to access that. And yeah, anyways, we'll just create a new file called helloworld.py. And make sure it's not helloworld.python. It has to be helloworld.py, just py. And you can see now we have a Python file. Now the first thing you need to know when it comes to Python is printing. So let's say I want to print something. And what printing exactly does is it prints a message to the output. This is commonly used in debugging, and even applications themselves use this. Like for example, before I get into any examples, I need to show you how the print statement was really made by the pycharm developers. So here's how it is. So these functions that are built are created using some algorithm, like the def print, something like this. And by the way, this is function syntax, so you don't need to worry about this. And then they'll just have some text. And then console, because this is a language built off of C, console.write. I'm not sure if it's console.write because I don't really do C. console.write, text. And yeah, it's just, as you can see, this doesn't work. I mean, this is a C, it's not a C file, obviously. And if we let's try to make a C file, actually, just for the kicks. Hi.c. Is this a C file? Now let's try to make a JavaScript file. Let's just delete that. Let's delete that. Yep. Okay, and we'll just let's try to create a CSS file. Don't worry about these languages. I'm just we could just experiment with this hello.css. Yeah, just don't worry about this. I'm just experimenting with this a bit. So yeah, hello world.py. So now you know that the print function is made. Now let's actually use it. So this has like a parameter. So a parameter is basically like a series of arguments that are passed to a function, but we're not going to be getting too much in depth with parameters because that's something for another video on functions. So we'll just say, for now, you just need to know that this print was not created, like it's like a built-in function that was created by the Python developers or the creators of Python. And this print is basically just prints messages to the output. Now let's try it out for real. Hello world. Let's print out hello world. Wait, looks like, oh, I have to run this. Oh, make sure you also press run for this. You have to run hello world. Yep, there we go. Where did it go? It's kind of weird. Run. Oh, what happened? Oh, there we go. Hello world. Sorry about that. Let's just run that again. As you can see, hello world. We get hello world. And also, languages typically have like a semicolon. Python doesn't really allow that. You can see remove trailing semicolon. So yeah, you don't really want to add semicolons at the end of every statement in Python if you've been familiar with another language. Yeah. So hello world is just, so interesting thing about hello world. This is like the first program that was ever created in coding history. So that's why people, the first thing they do with the language, actually the first thing they're supposed to do with the language is is to print hello world to the console window. Because since this is like the first thing that language does. So yeah, that's pretty much printing. Oh yeah, also there's something else. So let's say I want to print another message, print 6. Why not? I don't know why. Could say hello world 6. But what if we want them to be on the same line? So without concatenating it, because we've not learned concatenation. And we'll go over concatenation when we get to the strings section of the tutorials. Anyways, let's say we have, actually, I'll go over concatenation in this tutorial. So concatenation is basically joining two things together. For example, you have hello world, and the way you do it in Python is comma, hi. I just add a space for readability. It's not necessary really. And you can see hello world, hi. But what if we don't want to concatenate it? What if we want to print in two different lines? Then what we do is end equals, oh sorry, I've got a comma. End equals, and then that's the end. So you print, and you can print hi. Let's see what happens when we run this. And we get hello world hi. Now what if we add a trailing semicolon? Because why not? And you can see it has like a semicolon. So this end is actually pretty cool because you could do many things with this, including writing things on the same line. And if we print this again, print by. Let's print by now. And say hello world, hi, bye. And don't worry about these. These are just, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to go over is that whenever you want to put print text, you have to put it under double quotes. Because that just represents that it's a string. And we'll go into the string data type more cover it more in depth in the future. But for now, you just need to know that whenever you're printing text or using text, you need to use quotations. However, actually no, I'll just explain what I want to explain, what I wanted to explain right now when we get on to next tutorial, which is on variables, and then you'll understand the clear difference between putting something in quotations and not doing it. For example, if you just say buy, print buy without quotations, let's see what happens, and we get a exception or error traceback. As you can see, this is not buy. Buy is not defined. As you see, because by this it means that there's no variable named buy, and we're gonna get into variables in another video. So yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to smash that subscribe button. It really helped me a lot. And the more people can access this content, make sure to like, make sure to share this video, and make sure to comment any suggestions or feedback or any questions you have. And I'll be free to, I'll feel and feel free to ask because I'll be willing to answer my viewers' questions. So, yeah, that is it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.